Most people, when faced with a challenge, the common reaction is to ask yourself, how can you solve this problem? But in this book, Dan Sullivan discusses rather than ask yourself how you can solve this problem, it would be more productive if you ask yourself who can help you solve this problem. The moment you shift your thinking by determining the who, it can actually help accelerate you achieving your desired results. Like, for example, if you wanted to launch an e commerce company, rather than learn how to code a website for yourself, it's better and more productive to understand who is actually well versed in developing a website and perhaps outsourcing your work from there. So, as usual, I have my 5 key takeaways. And let's start with the first key takeaway: time creates money. So, in the book, there's a quote there that if you have money to solve your problems, you don't have a problem. Like, for example, weekly chores, right? On a weekly basis, you always need to take the trash out, maybe do the laundry. If you have money, rather than doing these menial tasks that really aren't really productive, you can actually outsource them to a laundry company, or maybe hire a helper who can actually do the dishes for you, or laundry and whatsoever. So once you realize that time is the most scarce resource in this world, you'll seem to put more value in allocating your time. Hence, the quote, time creates money. You can actually outsource it to free up your time so you can focus on high return tasks, right? The second key takeaway is, first you need to define your objective or goal, then ask yourself who can help you achieve this. Like, for example, you wanted to launch an e-commerce wellness product uh, line, right? So rather than understand the nuts and bolts on how to do social media, create a website, which will basically delay your entire launch of the project, it's a matter of understanding who is the expert in that specific field and how can you tap them and work with them, right? So this would help shorten the time that you need to rather learn on your own to delegate it to people who are experts in that field. So it eliminates the trial and error, it shortens the entire execution time. So again, it's about determining what outcome do you want, what goal do you want, and working backwards by identifying the who, right? Who can help you achieve this. The third key takeaway is, in this world, there are basically two types of problem: the technical problem and the adaptive problem. The challenge of most people is they focus too much on doing the things themselves, whether it's technical or adaptive. They have to think about business strategy, they have to, you know, boost a social media ad campaign. So by having this logic that there you can classify problems into two groups, the technical and adaptive. For example, technical. Let's go back to the e-commerce outcome that you want. Launch an e-commerce brand. So the technical aspects of that goal is creating a website, right? To have your digital presence. Rather than learn to code on your own, again, you could simply outsource it in a lot of freelance sites online, right? To create a WordPress site or a Shopify site for you. So those are the technical problems that you can outsource. The adaptive problems, on the other hand, may be something that requires more creative thinking, like strategy, partnerships, and so on and so forth, right? So the moment that you're able to offload yourself with these technical problems and outsource them, the more brain power you have and the more time you have to focus on high value activities that actually can help you grow the business, right? So the fourth key takeaway is, there are four kinds of freedom. First is the freedom of time. Again, time is the most valuable resource in our world today. And you could do this by simply outsourcing a lot of tasks so that you could free up time to focus on high value activities. The moment that you free up your time, you'll be able to have freedom of money. Why? Because you outsource all of the technical problems to experts. now you have more time to actually think about strategic decisions. How can you build partnerships? How can you build a good strategy? Hence, by this accumulated time that you have to spend on high value performing activities, you have eventually you'll amass wealth, hence the freedom of money. The third one is freedom of relationship. Again, you want to have the freedom to choose who you spend your time with and not because you have to. And that's the freedom of relationship. And finally, the fourth kind of freedom is freedom of purpose. Once you have freedom, time, money, and relationship, you're then able to have or to focus on things that you are passionate about, things that you find meaning or purpose with. Some may be joining volunteer groups, nonprofit, giving back, and so on. So again, it all starts really with the freedom of time, and it all trickles down by achieving freedom of money, relationship, and purpose. And the last one is the Pygmalion Effect. So this was based on the Greek sculptor, which basically fell in love with his sculpture so much that it came to life, right? And psychologists actually did a study in a school setting wherein teachers had high standards on specific students and low standards on certain students. And it's interestingly enough that the students wherein teachers held a high regard, that they had high expectations, actually performed better as compared to the students who they had low expectations of. Main explanation is because high expectations lead to better performance and low expectations leads to worse performance. So the nugget of wisdom in this story is we must hold ourselves to high standards, because subconsciously we actually strive to live up to that reputation, right? As if it's true. It's something that we really believe in, and we subconsciously strive to achieve. So again, I hope you learned a lot this week. Those are my 5 key takeaways. If you like my summary, I do one summary almost every Sunday. You could go to youtube.com, search Paolo Balinas. Hope you like and subscribe. I do one summary every Sunday evening. Thank you and have a great evening. Bye.